I'd like to introduce you guys to Mike Dalton, Commissioner here in Beaver County. He's going to speak to us about Beaver.
First of all, welcome to Beaver County. Welcome to heaven, we think. Beaver County is very pro-ATV. We've been working, Michelle Evans, I should say. I'm not going to say we. I'm going to say Michelle Evans, our tourism director, has been working very hard for you guys to put on the Jamboree that was a couple, 3 weeks ago, and to facilitate this big ride. She's doing this an excellent job. She's working on new trails all the time to get permission or get approval from the BLM. Forest Service to use trails that have not designated as ATV trails, and she has done a fantastic job. She, along with the Tusher ATV Club, was very instrumental in getting that signed. We right now have a very, very good working relationship with the BLM and the Forest Service. A very good relationship with the governor, the lieutenant governor, all of our legislators in Washington, D.C., except for maybe one. We won't mention that. Except for one, and it's not Ben McAdams. We have a good relationship with all of those guys, and so we can go to them one-on-one. But on that Emery County Land Bill, that was done deal, cut and dried, all but signed before any of us even knew about it. And we wrote letters, all of the commissioners I know around here wrote letters in protest on behalf of Wayne County, because it just shut Wayne County off on the north boundary line. But we wrote letters, and evidently they were just totally ignored, because that passed just like that. You had a question? I mean, it has to do with everything. It has to do with, you know, logging, timber, fire, cattle, sheep, wild horses, you know, the whole gamut. But we have a very good relationship with our legislatures in Washington. Okay. All right. Again, thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you. And appreciate you. And I hope you enjoy the next 2 days here. There's some good rides to be had. Thank you. Okay.
This is Michelle Evans. She runs Beaver County. No. She's a tourism director, and she's been extremely helpful to our club and to the county in getting the Jamboree started here. They had their second Jamboree this year, and also in developing the western portion of the county. You have 16 different trails now developed, I believe. 14 to the west. And she's working with BLM to try to go ahead and make Beaver a late fall, early spring place that you guys from up north can come down and ride in, realistically. So at that, there she is.
Thank you. So thanks for inviting me. Like Commissioner Dalton said, we love the ATV community. When I came into the position 2 years ago, the ATV club, Gary and a couple guys came to my office and they said, how about we do a Jamboree? And I was like, okay, what's that? So they explained it, and I've only ridden four-legged animals that eat hay, so I hadn't even driven one, but I was like, yeah, I'm all in, let's go for it. So they had to teach me how to ride first, and then you know, we really got the ball rolling, and last year was our first year, this year was our second year. It turned out great. I'm an enthusiast now, and it didn't take much to convert me, because if we're outside, I'm in. So it was great, and it helps to have such an active club, and it helps to have such active, good members. And to one of the questions over here about what you guys can do to help us, one thing that we do need help on is when we propose a trail and actually go through the signing process, we need comments. When the comment periods are open with the BLM, you know that SUWA is just inundating them. And traditionally, Beaver County has had very little pressure, and all of a sudden, because of the tourism that's starting to happen here, Like, we're on their radar, and everything we're doing, they're watching. So we need just as many enthusiasts on our side that want those places signed and want that open to ATVing, making comments. So as far as what we need your help with that, and the more diverse, so it's not just a concentrated thing from Beaver County. If this is coming from a lot of people across the state, then that holds weight. And making sure it's authentic. Like, if any of you have, like, you can't get out there and hike, that's taken into consideration. So if you say, look, I want to be able to enjoy the public lands, but I can't go hike, this is the way that I can still get out and do some of that stuff. That is taken into account. The more diverse that our letters are, the better they are. So that's something we could really use, help on. And normally, if I know there's a comment coming out, I try and send it to the club so that we can get the word out to the ATV community. So if you can watch for those, I'll include a link. It's pretty self-explanatory, but what I do is I write a letter, and then I follow the link, I go in, and there's a click upload, I upload, and I type in the box, please see attached comment letter, and then I upload it. And that's all you need to do. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. We don't have to be lawyers to be writing these. We just have to be enthusiastic about what we're doing and protecting our rights to be able to utilize that public lands. We try and get it to as many people as possible. So if you're on an email list at all with ATVing, I'm sure it will land in your inbox. But please don't ignore those comment letters. They're critical, because you know that SUWA is just an engine, and they are moving those. I mean, they're the ones that have opposed our Jamboree. So it was a lot of comment letters that helped push that through. So just make sure you're aware of those. The other thing I just want to talk about really quick is our state in general. Like, we're an outdoor recreation state. There's a ton of ATVing. So I guess the question I'm asked quite a bit is, what makes Beaver County different? So I'm going to just speak to like what makes us a little bit unique, and maybe a reason that you guys would want to come back and bring your family and friends. So if you haven't ridden in the Tusher Mountains, I know most of you probably definitely ridden on the Paiute Trail, but come and experience the Paiute Trail from the Beaver side of the mountains. We have 2 access points. One is a 50-inch. The other one is a black diamond, and it's fun. So if you're experienced and you like that stuff, come experience the Paiute Trail from this side of the county. We definitely have our club is out there cleaning off the trees and getting it accessible just as soon as that snow melts, and it's gorgeous on this side. So we'd invite you to come back and enjoy the Tusher Mountains. Then you guys went to the charcoal kilns. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. I mean, what a way to step back in time and to see the mining and what was going on in that boom or bust period. I mean, that's crazy. That town of Frisco was as big in the town as our entire county is today. So that tells you, like, that was a thriving place. And what incredible engineering went into those kilns, because they're so different and diverse. So, and everyone's a little bit different, and it just is so incredible as you come around a bend and there's another one. So I'm glad you guys got to go out and see that. What county has a brothel? We have Mag's Brothel. And that is part of the mining history, and we're willing to own that and like be able to let people see, because those structures are still standing even though they're kind of debilitated. It's just an interesting piece of the history, and being able to go and see how that bathhouse worked and how it came from the spring, and they kept that heated and all the stuff that went into that. It was so innovative at the time. And what an interesting ride, and what a historic, interesting ride. Also, if you ever go on the Mag's Brothel ride, it goes by an old rock house that looks kind of like, I'm going to date myself here, it looks kind of like a Smurf house. because they built, you know, this cabin right in the side of this rock, and it's just incredible that it's still standing. We are working on signing a lot of our trails out west. We're working through that process with the BLM. It's a completely separate process than the Jamboree permit, so we're working on adding signage. But one thing that we are adding, and I'm working right now with our public lands and GIS guy, Kevin Wicker, is offering the GPX files on our website that you can download right to your device. And so you can ride those trails today while we're waiting so that we can get the signage out. But in the meantime, we understand there's a gap, and we certainly don't want anybody to go out and get lost. So we are uploading all those GPX files so that people can have access. And those will be on our website. My website is visitbeavercountry.com. Don't forget the R. It's not Visit Beaver County, it's Visit Beaver Country. It's a little bit confusing. So, and it's under maps. And we'll just, as we get them done, as Kevin gets them to me, we're getting them uploaded and trail descriptions. So I'm trying to do one ride a week myself, and writing an article for the newspaper, putting it on our blog, and also including social media. So we use Facebook and Instagram. If you guys take any pictures, if you use social media, hashtag us, which is a #, hashtag us at Yes Beaver Country, which gives us permission to use your photos. So then we can use them in our marketing, and I'm always looking for photos for ATVing. So that keeps it fresh, and so I'm changing those photos out all the time. So it's hashtag Yes Beaver Country. Oh, and the other reason, this is why I moved here 8 years ago, is because I do not like to ride with the masses. I like to ride with the few. So if I'm out with the club, that's great. Or if I'm out on a ride with 10 or 15 machines, that's awesome. But what I don't want is having to use my blinker to merge into ATV traffic. And that's what we have here. You do not have to use a blinker to merge with ATV traffic. So there's still a lot of solidarity and to experience, and being able to just, be with your friends, and it's still got that cozy small town feel, which is what we love. So on that note, welcome to Beaver, you guys.